Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. For your first time people, my name is David Lozeau. I'm a Southern California based artist here to do a little painting for you to watch. Feel free to fire any questions you got through about the art in general. Thanks for hanging out with us. So tonight we're going to be working on this commission piece. This will probably be two parts. I'll probably stream again later this week. But we're going to work on the top guy tonight. So probably about an hour and 15. So again, feel free to fire any questions through. Thanks for joining me. And let's do this.
Jill says, I love your backgrounds. Maybe if I watch a pro, I'll learn something.
Thank you, Jill. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it.
We'll try to refer you to a professional.
Yeah, I'll try and find a pro and see if I can there's one around outside or something. Hey-o.
Chrissy says, I love this one.
Thank you, Chrissy. I love painting this kind of stuff. This is super fun. I love dark is really one of my favorite things to paint for sure. All right, let's get in there. Anytime I can paint a Jacob.
Melissa Comstock says, I made it.
There she is. Perfect attendance complete still.
I will check her off the list. Patrick says, hello David, is this a satanic ram type animal or did society ruin me? Both.
Both.
Kevin Saunders says we need more dark side.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a complete Kevin Saunders piece. We were saying that we were drawing it.
Incredibly correct.
All my goat skull people always message me with another collector message when we actually got the last one I painted and was like, what is this? Who's getting this?
Theora says, absolutely love this.
Thank you, Theora. I'm excited. This is a fun one.
What do they call these kinds of rams?
It's a Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Matthew Jones means says, baddest artist on the planet.
Who's it? What's the name?
Matthew.
Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. It's fun to do some heavy 90s heavy metal style art. The stuff that the PTA would be really mad about.
Like late 1100s.
Yes, it is that too. I'm more like angering the PTA art.
Yeah. Bjork says, guess who's back? Back again.
Bjork also with perfect attendance.
A little bit glitchy on the Instagram side.
It's just because you're starting out, the normal Instagram messing with us start off.
I'm not sure. It started strong. It's just having a little unhappiness. Probably the time of day, maybe 5-ish. I don't know. But
if you're on Instagram and it gets twitchy, you can catch us on Facebook on the either Facebook of the search my name. You can find us on my YouTube channel. We're streaming there. We're on Twitch. Twitter. Yeah. There's no excuses.
Melissa says I have some holy water for this piece. Yeah, you're gonna need it.
Exorcise the demons.
Well, you can't even see the below. We're just gonna focus on the
oh yeah, you think you're upset now?
you think you hit it now?
Yeah. So the person who commissioned this piece, longtime collector, wanted something evil, and they basically, and the biggest thing was to include the marabou storks. They're basically a carrion bird, a raven. I'm sorry, a vulture. And he said they're called the pallbearers. They're just really creepy, ugly birds. And he that was the key part of this piece that he wanted in there. That was the only direction I got.
Byron saying, "Can I find you harvesting avocados?" Yesterday was the personal harvest day.
Yeah, we harvest on Sundays. It's great to see the grove coming to life. I think we'll be we're kind of bringing it to life because it was kind of left. It just hasn't done well in a couple of years, so we're revitalizing it. And I think in a couple of years, maybe next year, it's going to get better and better.
Patrick says a different kind of music today. Electric EDM vibes. Love it. Yeah. This is my mysterious trap grouping. Dave can't even hear.
Yeah.
But I try to pick music that kind of goes with the theme. So this is what you got. Chrissy says, "All hail." My favorite people are the Church of Satan. Oh my God, they're hilarious.
Hilarious.
The best First Amendment fighters you'll see. Kirsten says your art is amazing.
Thank you, Kirsten. Appreciate that. The only bummer about the Jacobs lamb is it. Oh, now there's 4 horns I gotta do.
Patrick says this painting I feel like belongs in the movie The Witch. I have not seen that.
Is that one of the what is it called? Goes with the not the Annabelle. What is that? What is that series?
Oh,
Is she one of
I
that?
don't think so. The Nun and all those.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'll have to look that one up. You know what? I'm in the mood for a horror movie, to be honest. We need to watch the that one we were talking about the other day. The Witch. It's a 2015 movie. We've never seen it. Oh yeah. I see the cover art. Yeah, it kind of has a ram horn. So it's a 1630s New England.
Which is like now modern New England.
It's on like yes.
New England hasn't changed much.
So a disappearance and we'll have to watch that. I like a good scary movie.
Protestant New England. Being from New England, the Salem witch trial was always one of my favorite.
Such a wonderful time.
Yeah, to really embrace your locale. I'm like, why is this on the license plates?
Yeah, it's just a tourist thing now.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a gross thing to be.
It's crazy. Make a tourist thing.
Dunking women for being gossip.
Yeah.
He says it's a good movie worth checking out. Pretty good reviews and ratings. Good movie. All right. Well, I like.
We'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Oh, Chrissy says The Witch is amazing.
Okay.
It does fit perfectly. Okay.
All right, people. This is what you're here for.
All right.
This is what you're here for.
Because we need some movie reviews. I have nothing new to watch.
And I don't want to watch Spider-Man or any of that.
No.
Something without a guy in Lycra.
Very relaxing music.
It's dead quiet out here.
It's funny. I forget that you're just entirely without.
Which I never paint in silence. It's a little bit.
Either that or hearing our conversation twice.
Yes.
I have to hear everything twice. So. Some scrubby-looking guy named Jason says it's fantastic. Some kind of like Seattle hippie.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken grower. I don't know what goes on up there. His avatar just looks scrubby, so.
He's a sellout man, working for the man.
Does he work for the man?
See, the Goat Skulls bring out that kind of crowd. Like, he was just surfing through and went, Goat Skulls?
Yeah.
There's a disturbance in the force.
I like it brings out all the weirdos. That's funny. The people into the levy yard are like, nope.
Yep, nope. Skip.
Scroll on by.
How do I block him?
I always do wonder that. I don't pay attention to the stats or anything, but I always wonder, like, do you lose people? They're just like, nope. It's gonna bring Satan into my life.
You should have awards like that in your stats. This piece gained you. Oh, this piece lost you.
I'd have to do analytics, and I'm not gonna do it. So, let's just assume this is really good.
Yeah, this brings them all in. We're on a bunch of new boards now.
Chris is asking, would you ever do a Ghostbusters themed piece?
So, Chris, I don't do copyright things that I'm not contracted to do. Anything that's copyright, I don't do anything that's pop culture. I don't do any of that stuff. One, it's illegal, and you can get sued. I've never done a lot of pop stuff. The pop stuff I have done for Disney, I did some Star Wars stuff. I did some Jungle Cruise stuff. They came to me and contracted that to do. I just don't do anything that exists. I don't do any Batman. I just don't do other characters. One, it's just, even if it was not something I get in trouble for, I just don't find it interesting. There's a billion people doing it, and it's cool, and there's already a ton of art out there, and I have so many stories I want to tell with my kind of fleet of characters that I'm just not that intrigued by the other people's characters. If that makes sense.
God, in this day and age too, why take the risk?
Oh God, yeah.
Of being called out or shut down or.
Nope.
Like, I don't know how all the comic guys at like the convention.
Oh, the fan art.
Do so much fan art, sell it, like promote it and sell it. Like, it's like, no, you're really putting yourself in a position.
Mm-hmm. Hey, don't get me wrong. It was fun to do the Star Wars stuff. Kind of a little bit of kid dream there.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, I don't. If to push you in like, oh, you did Star Wars too. That's kind of some of the reaction. I'm like, yeah, it's me and Drew Struzan. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you just kind of. I like that my stuff is unique. And I have weird ideas and again, weird, creepy little stories to tell, and I want to get those out.
Bunny has entered the chat.
But yeah, it's a great question, and it's one I've been asked a lot, so it's good to kind of be able to explain that.
I made this bed perfect for this dog, and he is rat fucking this thing.
The language.
Sorry about language.
The language.
He is kicking the crap out of his bed. Look at this a-hole. Ugh. Oh, why do I bother helping you when you do shit like this?
Not a good dog.
Oh, he's the worst. He's digging the blanket off the bed. Okay, I'll take it away. Ugh, and he's flipped his bed over. All caught on camera, by the way.
It's all gone.
Oh, what a jerk face. For the Instagram people, I'm trying to show Buns a little bit, our Frenchie, but for people on Facebook and stuff, they got to see the full deal of him kicking the crap out of his bed. Ah, what a jerk face. So John Huerta is saying, I'm curious, what is this that you're working on and what it is inspired by?
So this is a commission. Thanks for the question, John. This is a commission that a longtime collector has commissioned to kind of capture some of the elements of my art that they really enjoy. One of the parts of this, again, I mentioned earlier, you can't really see it in what's being done here, but the only thing that I was given to go on was to make it evil, and then to add the marabou storks, which are the flesh-eating vultures at the bottom of this piece. And I want to kind of capture, again, and I like to hide some of the symbolism and use very traditional religious elements, the key to life, the 7 figures that are 7 animals represented here. There's a lot of things, elements I could put in there to kind of, play and twist some of those, normally established religious iconography is kind of the way I love to do it. So, and my kind of thought here is this is kind of the, what I name it? I forget what the preliminary working title I had on the thumbnail. What did I call it?
Oh, what did you call it? You called it the sinner's idol.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's everybody needs an idol too. It's kind of like, everybody needs something to pray to, something to believe in, and this is kind of just a darker version of that kind of play.
Nova May is saying, I love your art.
Thank you, Nova. Appreciate it.
Maury is saying, we've gotten a ton of minis and some bigger prints and sticker sheets and a phone case.
All right, Maury.
When will you do some figurines?
Some figurines. So at this time, we have no plans for any more figurines. Maybe in the future that will change, but as of right now, we don't have any plans. I used to do all my sculpting during my time getting sculptures ready for my time at Disney. Now that they've closed that down and that gallery doesn't exist and we're not doing that, I just haven't found a time in my schedule for that yet. So for right now, no figurines. Maybe we'll release, I still have some blanks of the ones I've done. Maybe I'll paint a few up for the sale and the Christmas in July sale. Maybe I'll put a few in there, but no plans right now.
We were just talking about sculpting, like doing one-off.
Yeah, I love sculpting. Doing all the figurines, though, is very labor-intensive and costly, and it's just hard to kind of work that in the schedule, so.
Reproductions.
Yeah, the reproductions. So maybe we'll do some one-off original types of ones.
Byron says, praise to the false idol. Wicked.
Yeah, and if you have problems with what the piece is about, then you blame that guy.
John says, that's very interesting. Your work's amazing. I love your technique.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Nomadic says, hey, my favorite skeleton artist.
Thanks for joining us, man, on India time. I just enjoy the change that this style, that this design brings up. Some of these elements, these animal skulls. It's a weird, it's hard to explain the difference, but there's just some extra elements that you don't do with facial skulls of of people.
Well, it's fun textural stuff. Like as I'm watching it, I'm just like, where are you getting these textures from? Like, what's the?
Yeah, what are you symbol? What are you showing there? What is that?
Yeah, it just seems like you're very free to.
Oh, completely.
Create texture.
Yeah, you're really, and because I've already kind of manipulated this whole picture to start with, there's no rules. There's really with a human skull. You got to make it like a human skull. It sticks out because we're used to seeing that. So you really have to. You're kind of locked into what you can do with this. You can really just play with it all you want. Because y'all don't know what the skull looks like. Good questions, though.
Should you have really painted the face, or should you have worked on the horn?
Hey, I know. I've made a mistake here.
I was just asking.
I've locked myself in an itch. I get it.
You did?
No, it's not too bad. But yeah, I know I'm still doing it. Because this is the most fun part.
Right.
Horns are boring. I did 2 of them already. Isn't it enough? You want more horns?
So choose the max.
2's a max. The reason she says that is my big stupid left hand is going to be an issue. But if I don't, that was a stupid. Why am I down here?
See, why are you?
That's crazy.
What are you doing right now?
That's crazy talk.
Oh my. See, I'm no artist, but even I know you are absolutely painting yourself in a corner.
Yeah.
Literally, you're doing the thing that
Should not be doing.
non-corner painters are supposed to do.
All right, we're gonna go back up top. And the thing I always laugh about with religious paintings, like I have an took art history in college, so some of the things that always made me laugh was there's so much symbolism. Like every single thing is in 3s and 7s, you know. So when I make 3 dots, I'm like, yeah, that's symbol. That's part of, you know, the Holy Trinity. It's just funny how I'm like, wait a second, did the artists know all those ones that they put in there? The fingers facing towards the star, and that's the north, and that's, you know, Christ. I'm like, come on. He didn't know all those. If you want to see crazy work, that kind of what inspires me in this realm, Hieronymus Bosch is definitely the Renaissance artist that really I love.
What's the name?
Hieronymus Bosch.
Okay. Well, that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, he did some crazy. His versions of hell. His famous piece is the it's a triptych. I forget what the name of it is now. Of course, 'cause I've talked about it. But just the layers and the symbolism, you know, it's loaded.
Nomadic is saying, so there's a character with a ram skull, kind of like an Indian god called Gunpati, aka the god with the elephant head. Or is this a fictional character made up?
This
asking you, yeah.
Yeah, this is just a fictional creation.
A common type of character, right?
Yeah.
As far as because it's kind of based on a false idol.
Yes.
In the Bible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Biblically, you're not supposed to idolize anyone or anything other than what Jesus, and there's a whole story, a whole narrative about how people started idolizing this golden calf. So it's biblical. It's based on that character. This.
And it's got the sort of story that any kind of goat is Satan now. I mean, it's really been twisted a bit.
That's weird. The Bible's usually straightforward. So that is shocking.
What?
Shocking for me to hear this information.
Interpretation can be twisted as it is?
Byron is saying, is that a Dutch painter, that guy?
Yes.
He's a Dutch painter.
Yes.
Jill is saying, what's the secret to doing the fine line work?
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. It's not cocaine.
It's doing not.
Doing not cocaine. Seriously, can you imagine trying to do these lines on cocaine? So the key really, and I'm not going to take full credit for them, although it is my amazingness. The other part though is really this enamel. What you're seeing here is I use this enamel paint. It's kind of like, it's a sign painter's paint. So it allows me to kind of ink with a brush almost. So one tiny line, like, if I make one little line, a line somewhere, like right here, if I come down the line, like one stroke, I don't have to re-ink. I can go as far as I want. I can light as I want. I can just keep going in and out. If I was using acrylics, my lines wouldn't be opaque. They would start to thin out, and so this paint really gives that look and lets me, kind of do those strokes through and through. You can see here, I can just go, bam, I can do one line, I can do another one, skinny one, and push down a little harder, fat one.
So it's a very opaque, kind of thick paint for one. It's a tiny, tiny brush.
Yes.
For two. And then your style is graphic art based because that was your career.
Yeah, and it's just how my brain, and so line work is kind of how my brain sees the art. So those things all combine to kind of give that line style. But finding the paint was really like the missing piece when I went, oh, that's how I paint. When I found one shot, an enamel, I'm like, okay, so I've been trying to do my whole time. This is the missing piece.
Smaller Holler, like it a lot, over on Instagram, is saying, are you going to be doing any in-person painting?
So as of right now, we are retired from festivals, but we are still working on things. Right now, everything's kind of still on hold. A lot of our relationships, like going to SEMA and doing some of those projects. So we're still trying to figure out, how that all works. As of right now, I have nothing booked for this year. So I have no live appearances right now. That may change in the future as things kind of start to open up and play themselves out. So we'll see. But currently right now, nothing for 22 yet.
Carasciolo says, I just came to say hello. Great art once again.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for swinging by.
Byron says, come paint my toolbox.
Bring it on down. Put it in the back of the VW bug and bring it on down.
Yeah. Upon delivery.
Tell him that. He's going to do it. Come up with new projects. He's not going to cooperate.
Nobody wants to see what you do.
He's like, well, you got some other options, so you decide what you want. What kind of puppy cam you want to have? Yeah. Buns' OnlyFans account.
Only buns.
Gee, that's going to be, it's probably already taken. I would feel like that URL is probably already taken.
Yeah, only buns, sexy buns, little buns, all those are already taken. Nomadic is saying, how's the Vishla? Hope he's getting better.
He is much better. Thank you for asking. He's doing much better. You know, he's basically on his feet now, able to get around. It's been great. It's been 6 months, you know, therapy and just, you know, time. And he's just starting to find, I mean, he has a hitch in his giddy up, but he can run around. He can get on the bed. He's doing every day doing something new, you know, some small way he used to be. So we're just
pretty amazing.
Yeah, so we're just thrilled.
That's why we can do this now.
Yes, that's why we're live streaming more and more, because he's getting better and better.
Yeah, it really is.
And for those new to the stream, or actually not even new to the stream, we haven't talked about it much, even if you're old to the stream. Our Vishla suffered a traumatic, paralyzing neck injury 6 months ago and was paralyzed for 4 months.
From August to January.
Yeah, August to January. So basically, you know, had to be carried around, manual bathrooms, all the stuff. So it was quite a traumatic time for us. You know, we didn't get a lot of work done because someone had to be with him 24 hours a day. So it's just now he's finally recovering a little bit. So it's great to see.
He's actually so active that we're not bringing him up to the studio to be on a live feed because he's just so like...
Yeah, he's not going to sit still.
Like he's making up for lost time, you know? He just wants to like be out and do stuff, you know?
He's like,
be gone. He's just into everything. So we're like, oh, why make him sit on the couch?
He's like, I spent 6 months laying on the couch, you know, with you guys, and now I'm tired of it. Let's do stuff.
Yeah, and it's really nice out. The weather's really good here now, so... Only the little Frenchie he's a good napper, so he's the only one we bring up right now.
Anyway, this piece combines a lot of things I love. Fabric, goat heads.
Well, and then once you get to the below piece, which we'll probably live stream later in the week or something, you'll get to see feathers and guts. I don't know that you've
eyeballs.
The gut theme.
No, I have not done any guts before. That'll be the first guts.
Yeah. Which is, I think, going to be really important to your art. I think you're going to do a lot of gut art.
Yeah.
Byron says, I'm out, guys. Love you. Gotta go do fun things. How dare you, sir?
Fun things? What's more fun than this? We will allow it because
Dare you.
you enabled us to paint Angry Birds. The real original Angry Birds.
Bjork says that he had a huge blob of paint droplet come out of his Posca pen while painting.
I know the feeling. It's the worst.
You have to improvise.
Yeah. I have been there. That's the worst. And then you just gotta, yep. And so my advice, because I've, most of my career has been in front of people painting, is just to make it match, you know? Sometimes it is devastating. I mean, it's very difficult to make match, and it can really change a painting. With my big stupid hands, the most common thing that happens to me is this brush will flip. I'll be holding so much that my thumb will somehow flip it, and then that thing spins, and you just pray as it's in midair that please don't hit the painting brush side or hit an area that I can easily hide. It sucks.
Alan Kaufman says hi.
Hey Alan, thanks for joining us. Welcome. I'm doing crazy out of order. I'm all over the place.
Can't help
Why am I doing the book? Still a horn that's not done.
Brandon says, my big brother and quasi-mentor, good to see you are still kicking and continuing to slay art. Much love, Brandon Holmes.
Thank you, man.
Quasi.
Good to see other artists still surviving.
Bjork was saying the piece where he dropped the Posca pen, it was kind of an abstract piece, so he's hoping it's fine anyway.
Was it abstract before the drop, or were you like, this is now abstract?
Changing midstream.
Yeah. Shit just got abstract.
I'm really into figurative abstract.
Yep.
Fully abstract.
Splotches. That's my new thing.
Lewis is saying, hey there, my brother, you only do dark side art?
What?
No. The silly, lovey stuff he's got going on.
Lewis, you have tuned in for like the only dark one I've done in forever.
Yeah, check out the previous few live streams. It's been all love up.
It's been all cute stuff, Lewis. You kind of tuned in for the dark day. But yeah, I do some of everything. This is probably the least amount of one I do. Cutesy, I'm probably pretty high up there.
He said, you're a really good artist. Oh, that's nice.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, check out, since you're on YouTube, you can check out previous videos and such. And so if you like this kind of stuff, you can find this. If you like the kind of funny, cute stuff, there's that.
Samurai stuff,
cleaners.
Western
Yeah.
stuff. There's everything.
Yeah, some hot rod. Pneumatic is saying, have you ever done a self-portrait in your skull style? Well, the single track is
Technically, the single track is. But that's as close as we've done.
Yeah, single track is a mountain bike piece, and painted it from reference from a picture of him riding a mountain bike. Very self-centered piece, yes.
Well, and the reality is, I didn't need to do a self-portrait piece.
Oh.
Because
Well, you have to hold it
my fan Bryson in Las Vegas painted this for me.
Do the main camera.
Main camera?
Yeah. So this little cutie in Boulder City, we were doing a show in Boulder City, Nevada, which is kind of by Las Vegas. He move it to the right a little bit too. Yeah. He brought this to a show, and it just kills me how cute that is.
And
Thanks, Dave.
when I live demo, I wear a cowboy hat, that shirt, I mean the whole thing. He has me painting here.
And it was around Christmas time that he had seen Dave, so he did a little Christmas tree.
So that's when Bryson was probably like 25 by now.
So he's probably, I bet he's like 12, right?
He was 12 when he did it.
He was 12 when he did it?
Yeah.
So that was only like a few years ago, so maybe 15. But it was just the sweetest gift, and it's so dead on.
So I don't need to do anything. He beat me to it. And anything I do would be
Portrait of the artist.
derivative.
So Luis says he's an airbrush artist. And he's going to do a channel soon.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Occasionally airbrush comes into the mix, not in a live stream, but like
the last two paintings, we haven't released them yet, but the last two paintings both had airbrush in it.
Little elements of airbrush, but never a full.
No. Airbrush, for me, in my, I struggle with it. It's amazing. I see what guys can do, and I just can't. My brain doesn't work that way. I need sharp lines, focused lines, tiny little lines, and my brain doesn't see the airbrush way. So it's like a mystical science to me. And I have a lot of airbrush artist friends too, and it's just sorcery.
I was just about to go steal candy, and I think I'd be in the picture if I did that.
Yeah.
You would have seen me on camera stealing candy from that back table. Oh my god.
You just have to steal the mic.
That was almost an incredibly embarrassing candy theft.
You almost existed.
But I really want a piece of candy. Steele spoke over on Instagram, says, so cool watching this build and come together layer by layer. I love watching the process.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Me too. I mean, for me, this is the most fun part. Like, I love piecing it together as I'm sketching it all out. To me, that's the work part. You know, this is just fun. This is what I'd be doing anyways if I wasn't streaming. I'd be just here painting this. And the black line work, just when it all comes together. It's just, again, this is the time to tune in. All right, I guess we'll do this other horn. Balance that.
So Luis is saying he's in the middle of painting a Ghost Rider piece on canvas with mixed media.
Ghost Rider. Very cool. What are the mixed medias that you're doing?
Yeah,
Besides the
airbrush and
yeah. Ghost Rider. I'm just using fire. Pyro.
So, Junior Art Design over on Instagram is saying, how do you price commissions by the hour, by the piece,
Oh,
the size?
Junior. So, Junior, this is a great question, and it's one that has various answers. So, the first, I'm going to give you the short answer because that's what everybody wants to hear. So for me, obviously, every artist is different. It takes time to work up to your pricing. So we're not going to talk about pricing. We're talking about the way that you price it. I do mine solely based on size. It's worked for me for years. It's just easier that way. It's what people measure in their heads. If I was to say, well, this takes this much time, same size piece, and it's easier for me to say it's 1824. It's this price. It's just easier. For everyone sees that, and that they can measure for this commission, they can measure for the space on their wall. It's just easier to do it that way. So I've always done by size. And generally, everything's plus or minus 10%, probably the same amount of work, unless it was like some massive full coverage thing. And then you could boost it up a little bit if you feel like it's going to be a little bit more, and just tell them, hey, because of the detail, I got to charge a little more, this and that. So that's kind of the short answer. But the dollar amount, that just comes from building a career. Slowly raising your prices, kind of doing all that. So, but that's individual to each artist. But pricing for commissions, I do solely by size.
Yeah, I mean, over the I don't know, 12, 14 years you've been painting, commission prices have slowly risen. It's not a fixed price. We try to keep it fixed for a period of time until the art makes some kind of a jump, which might be indiscernible to other people, but to where the effort maybe shifts, or the time involved shifts, or the time you have available shifts.
Exactly.
And right, all go into the pricing.
And for me, commissions, I put a limit on it. I only do a certain size. I only do commissions starting at a certain size and a certain price, because just my time and effort, to me, it's almost as much work to do a small painting it is the large one, because it's all the mental real estate to create a piece, all the sketching before you even get to the painting part. So,
but that's now.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
years ago it was not that way.
The starting price and size was much smaller.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like as the career progresses, so does the sizing and pricing, right? I mean, gosh, the first commissions you were doing were, I don't know, $300, $200.
Oh yeah. They were. I was doing tattoo drawing, ink and watercolor, tattoo designs, and those were, I want to say like $125 for a small one at some time.
Sure.
But again, it's also a lot of experience learning how commissions feel to an artist. When you paint someone else's idea, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that mentally. It may not be as rewarding if you're a certain type of artist. You got to learn how to, what works for you and what your pain threshold is. And, I am very fortunate to be able to pick and choose the projects I want to do and make sure and I actually, to be fair, I've always kind of been very careful of not taking projects that aren't me. If someone comes to me and wants a pinup airbrush pinup, that's not what I do. I'm not the guy for you. There's guys who are way better at that kind of stuff. So it's kind of finding what you like and balancing it out with the pricing.
And he says thinks that's a good answer. I struggle with the price and posting changes. So how do you manage change requests from clients?
Another great question. So basically, you get 2 rounds of changes, and then we start charging. And that's in my initial quote.
So that's almost like a graphic artist production.
And you have to.
Approach to things, right? You're saying, here's the design that we discussed. What do you want to change or fix, or how do you feel about it going forward, right?
Yep.
They give you feedback, you make those changes, and then you're giving them like one more shot to like, how am I not representing what you want to see?
Exactly. And I try and get all their input in the beginning to make sure I can get as close to that mark. But you do, like you said, you do need to be able to have you get 2 changes, and then we start charging, and each change is, I usually, to make it honest, each change is about maybe 10 to 20% of the commission price. So you kind of, to be frank, cut that shit off. It's
right.
I want your input, but I'm not gonna, and there's no making change when you start painting and you've hired me, there's no like, oh, can you change that guy to red? At this stage in the painting, it just doesn't work. So, and the key is to get 50% upfront before you start any project.
Yeah.
Those are my key bits of advice for starting artists.
And that's just learning over the years that if you keep it open-ended and there is no change price. If you don't state that when you're first discussing doing commissions, most people will just be like, okay, great, whatever. They're just happy to get the commission. They hired you for a reason. But some people will just go, and they don't even maybe sometimes realize.
You may be the first artist who've ever had commissions. They don't even know how the process works. And so you're their first, time. The rules are there for the 10% that's going to have an issue, and you're going to need to use those rules to fall back on.
And that they may not understand how art works. Like actually recently, somebody, while it's all been approved, way beyond it, days beyond approval, then was like, oh, hey, can you change that color of that outfit?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, no.
That's painted.
Approval means approval.
Yeah.
And it's painted, and it's not just because this isn't computer work. Obviously, if you're a digital artist, there can be different ways to handle charging for changes, but this is it, So as an artist, you have to protect yourself, make sure you go up front with how the process works, how charges work.
A couple of extra questions to hey, do you have any color preferences for things? Try and make them think about some of those things that they don't even know that they don't want or want.
Yeah.
But again, the key is to charge 50% up front and have a good conversation with everybody to kind of flesh all that stuff out.
And Luis over on YouTube was saying the same thing. He's saying, yeah, I charge 50% up front. Because honestly, we've had people disappear. And not one guy.
I love this story. Yeah.
One guy bought a painting. This was a long time ago. It was about 10 years ago. He bought a painting, paid for it, and then we didn't hear from him. And we're like, God, this is weird.
He's supposed to contact me the following Monday so I could ship it to him.
And it was like a month went by, 2 months, 3 months. It just kept going. It was the weirdest thing. And we're like, how long do you hold on to something when someone's bought something? And same goes for when they do a commission. You get 50% up front. When they just disappear for whatever reason. This guy happened to be a doctor who went on a trip to Haiti to do like Doctors Without Borders.
It was after the earthquake. He was basically on a rapid response team.
Yeah.
And after the Haiti earthquake happened, he was on a plane within 4 hours of the earthquake. So he was gone.
For years, literally years. And he just forgot, But and then you have we've had somebody pay 50% commission up front for a custom piece and then disappear. Did they die? Did they move? Did they forget? So you just don't know. And then you of course have people who just all of a sudden don't agree with what you agreed upon before, and they want to make too many changes and stuff. So as an artist, you have to very much protect yourself.
And that comes from experience, but again, charging up front and having long conversations about what they want, that just helps you in the long run.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop at all. And I do 50% because even collectors who've collected for years, it can get wacky.
Yeah.
So you want all your money, just half money before you do anything. It's just how it has to work.
Divorces, people just don't have the money anymore.
Yep. Their wife or husband steals the art on the way out of a divorce. I mean, we've heard that numerous times. Weird stuff happens.
For sure. Yep.
Just you gotta protect yourself. It's not anyone's fault. And the more emails, everything in email, get everything in writing. Just in case you need issues.
Yep. Try to get it as clear as possible to nail it down. But charging for changes, unfortunately, is a way to protect yourself. Otherwise, it's just...
It'll go on forever.
And maybe this piece is really important to them, and they've really stretched to buy it, right? They've put out a lot of money to buy it. That gets them very nervous about wanting it to be quote unquote perfect, not really understanding kind of an art process, and so the changes can just never end. So there's a lot of reasons why you need to do that.
Great question, though.
Yeah, really good question. So Luis had said during all this that his mixed media project, it's acrylics and airbrush and metallic paint, and he's trying to find a really good silver chrome paint, and he wants to try and automate it out of motive silver paint.
So
to get a chromy look.
So if you want a chrome look, the best paint you can use is called AutoClad. It's you shoot it with an airbrush. It's AutoClad, I think is a word. You put a shiny gloss black base down, and you do that on top of it. I believe it's called AutoClad. Message me in the comments for this video. I have bottles over here. I'll dig it up and find out. But it's the best stuff. All the guys use it for their cosplay, for their helmets and such. It's a beautiful chrome finish, and it's mirror finish. I mean, it's really good stuff. And it's not that expensive, and you can buy it in small little bottles for a small project. So I'll go back to this comment. Put a comment in the video, and I'll make sure that I post a link to that. Two favorite chrome things are that paint and then Rub and Buff, which is a silver. It's a wax with a silver pigment in it. It's how you make like fake antique guns. It's how you do like machinery and aging on an antiquing of metal, because it looks like it gives a worn edge. Like if you have all black machine and you use this Rub and Buff stuff just on your finger almost, you can make it look like the paint's worn on the edges. Some of that cool antiquing stuff. So that's the nerdy sculpture stuff I used to do that gives me some of that experience, which I miss.
He says, Luis says he has to go, but take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. We'll get you sorted out. I love fabric folds.
Bjork is saying, I'm wondering if other viewers are also drawing and painting with the stream in the background, and then if so, will you paint and draw?
Exactly. Who else is working?
Yeah.
Because I've watched long YouTube videos, long format YouTube videos, and I often will be working at the same time too. So yeah. Anybody else working tonight?
Or crafting.
Yeah, you're all just sitting around watching me work.
Nomadic is asking, when you decided on your logo and brand name, did you brainstorm a few ideas before deciding to go with your full name?
Yes. What I should have been is Dave of the Dead, but I didn't want to do it, and I should have, because it's great branding. But yes, I always wanted. We decided early on. Again, I came from a business world. Was my day job before I was a full-time artist, and I always felt like I didn't want a nickname because I wanted people to find my name and search my name. I used an avatar pseudonym for years when I first started, but as I got more serious, I wanted to be taken seriously, and just felt like if I wanted gallery, I wasn't an graffiti guy, so it's the only guys I felt like should have, incognito names. But I just felt like it was one of those things where to be a professional, I just felt like I had to use my real name. The logo, strange, is how that worked out. It was commissioned by Jesse James for his Garage magazine, and we realized afterwards it just was such a great graphic that I was like, let's just make that the logo.
Yeah, kind of accidental. It was kind of just like, this does in a way represent a lot of what you like to paint. And I don't. Yeah, it's funny how
it's a weird, because if you look at it, you're like, why is it wrenches? He's not even a car guy. It's a weird mix, but it just felt right. It just felt, the graphic just felt like something like that should be what we are. I was trying to name drop there either. It's just
one mistake I think we made when we were first registering the name, that kind of thing on the business side of things. And I was like, you should change the spelling of your name.
Oh,
in a professional manner, as artists and musicians and people do all the time, and just spell your last name Lozo.
And
it would be so. I said I know you have no attachment to your name.
No, it doesn't matter at all.
No big history. He doesn't have a big historical connection to that name. There is no big family history there. So it's like, just that would be so much easier. No one will mispronounce it. It's short, it's sweet, it's easy. And he's like, oh, I don't know.
No one's gonna care. It's never gonna be an issue.
and it was just like,
oh, what stupid we were.
It was like, that's the easiest thing that could have been done.
Yep.
It could have been so much easier.
Yep.
Because as you can see how it's spelled, if you're French, you pronounce it a certain way. If you're from certain parts of America, you're going to mispronounce it.
It doesn't do us any favors.
The way you pronounce it is mispronouncing it, to be honest.
I'm sorry, you just tell me that I mispronounced my own name?
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that's one mistake. Would have been an easier logo, easier to read, write, say.
Yeah,
share.
yeah, we blew that.
And coming from the internet world, I was like, what a URL, right? Just Lozo. I'm like, this could be so easy. And he's like, I want to keep my name.
Yep. Stupid. I was stupid and wrong.
Yeah, could have been easier.
So I spent the last 20 years going Lozeau, just like Lozo. Right. Literally using that as how I tell people to say it. Day of the Dead. Should have been that. You can see she had a lot of great ideas. I'm like, that's stupid. Yeah. I don't want that. And I'm like, God, why did I freaking listen?
When I met him, he was a bum.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He was a complete bum.
I don't think the stream needs to hear all that. We don't need to go back that far.
So he didn't.
This is not the airing of the grievances.
that's saved for November, December timeframe. So the only two people that said that they're working, other than Björk doing pasta pens, is Matt Kidd is mixing resin and painting those bullets that he makes.
Excellent.
And then Luis is airbrushing and trying to figure out the mixed media combo.
And Matt, I'm so much closer to your package because I got the things I wanted to send you.
Yeah.
Those have been found.
The damn things he's supposed to mail you have been sitting on the shipping table.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it today. We didn't, so Friday.
I'm crap, but it'll get there.
Crap. Friday. Pneumatic Casino, have you ever put your art on coffee mugs? Yeah.
Yes. I put my art on a lot of things.
Yeah. We had a lot of different designs on coffee mugs before, but we kind of wanted to simplify the accessories side, the miscellaneous side of the store. And So really, there's just a logo one now.
And we've done licensing with companies who've done it, did our art on coffee mugs and stuff too. So one of those things where it's just like there's so many products that we have to do. So it's, we used to do all different kind of shirts and stuff. So just a lot of things to manage. So we try and keep them somewhat manageable.
Yeah. Still do shirts and apparel, but we don't do all kinds of different shirts and girl shirts and sweatshirts. We keep it really simple. So yeah, there is a logoed coffee mug on the site, but that's about it. Now it has a resin pour, so that's for the night now, and you'll check on it tomorrow. You know how resin goes.
Oh, I miss those days of just massive. Because I used to have, when I used to do my molds, I had probably 10 or 15. So I'd be mixing and I'd have, and I was using quick cure, so about 30 minutes per. And so I'd pour some, mix some, pour some, pour the overrun into some.
What a mess.
Oh God! And when you break them all off, all the flashing, all the other stuff that pops off there, the overpour, it pops off when it's dry, which would cover the floor. I mean, it was a lot. I completely relate to that.
It's like you need a whole different craft studio for this.
Oh, it was messy.
Because it would just take over the paint desk with resin everywhere and all the molds and all.
Oh, my fingers were all glued together.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, in the painting right now, strangely, this is one of my also favorite things to do. Carving out, this is a dark area back inside his outfit. So carving out the cape, the way it flows underneath there, and blocking out, some of that to give it weight. Like, for some reason, these are just the things I really enjoy painting. Because again, there's some rules, obviously, to how physics it works, but artistically, it's really freeing because I can do whatever I want. There's no line to follow. I have a couple of highlights that I've painted here. I'm just kind of working with them. And I know that, they'd be very dark, by his arm. And where it's opened up, you'd get some light kind of pierce into this area here. And it's kind of, so what I do is I make lines and I just keep erasing, keep pushing them back. This is kind of like my generic, okay, the shadows would be to there-ish. Now start carving from there. It's very, very similar to the way I paint hair. With clothing, there's a little less lines than with the hair, but it's the same thing I love about hair, I love about fabric. Buns is not impressed with the painting at this point.
Well, that's about an hour. I think that's a good place to
Wrap up the folds.
wrap it up.
All right. we're gonna wrap it up for now, but we'll be back again this week in the next couple days, maybe tomorrow or the day after, and we will continue this. You get to see all the scary stuff down at the bottom here. You think you hate it now. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Great questions tonight. Super fun hanging out with you guys. So again, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again. Take care.